Yo, what's up, YouTube? Okay, guys, so today we hit a huge milestone on our Twitch. We got over 900 subscribers, 1,000 right now concurrent, which is absolutely insane. And so, of course, as a reward, I figured I was gonna do a binder collection video. So I actually built this binder with my Twitch chat. They helped me put some cards together, make it look as pretty as possible, so I can show you guys my updated binder. If you guys didn't know, I actually sold a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh cards to buy the house that I'm currently living in right now, that you guys see. And so this is kind of like what I have left. I haven't really bought many cards after since buying my house, just saving money and trying to pay that fat rent mortgage. But today I'm not gonna be going over what I have in my binder in my collection right now. I kind of try to jam in as much as I can. Huge shouts to Tapio Cards. If you guys don't know already, they were the one who gifted me this binder. Yeah, huge shouts to them for giving me this beautiful binder. It's actually a cool Infernoble binder. But anyways, we're gonna get started with the first page. Are you guys ready? Oh my god. So of course, guys, the first page has to be some of my favorite cards in the game. Starting off with just heat. So we have 3 first ed Ghost Stardust, Ghost Black Rose First Edition, a Ghost First Ed Ancient Fairy Dragon, a Ghost First Ed Black Winged Dragon. Shout out to Gage. A First Ed Ghost Red Dragon Archie. This is actually my first Ghost Rare ever, if you guys didn't know. And then a no name, no imprint Italian First Edition Ghost Rare Power Tool Dragon. So as you can see right here, has no name, absolutely mint, super creamy, super crisp. And then all of these as well are just like insane. Like all these cards you see here, the Stardust Dragons, these cards have no foil scratches and they're all mint. I'm more of a binder guy, not really a slab type of guy. So like I like don't get these cards graded, but I figured, you know, I'll show you guys right here the 3 first edition Ghost Stardust. They're all super clean. And yeah, they're just insane. Like literally one of my favorite cards in the game. You know, I've always enjoyed like the 5Ds era from a player's perspective. Really some really dope cards. So yeah, it's just absolutely insane. And then of course the bread and butter, also 2 Black Rose Dragon, both first edition as well. These cards are just gorgeous. Same super mint condition like the Stardust Dragon, and just no foil scratches, like good centering, like overall just, you know, if I feel like I should get them graded eventually like these cards, but you know, right now I'm really just a binder type of guy, so I'm just putting these cards in my binder right now. There's a couple cards that are notable that I'm not really going to be showing my binder, but that's going to be my ultra rare prize card. I have it in my trophy collection case, so I'm not really going to take that out to put in my binder. And then I guess the other one is a TFK Duster, which is super rare as well, but I didn't really want to take it out of the case and put it in the binder. The other thing is, guys, if you guys are enjoying the video so far, don't forget to check out my Twitch and comment, like, and subscribe. Your thoughts on the binder. If there's gonna be any card, if you're gonna have any card from my binder, which card would it be? And anyways, we're gonna continue with the rest of the video for the second page now. So on the left we have 2 first edition Winged Dragon of Ra. We have a first ed French Honest. Amaterasu, which is a ghost card. I'm actually trying to build Bujins for 2014, so I'm really excited to have this card. Firewall Dragon, because I was actually playing it in Ignisters. Utopia Ray, first edition as well, and then 3 Felgrams that are all first edition. These cards are for my Bubble Beat deck. I want to build Bubble Beat, so I wanted to have this. And then on the other side we have 6 Starlight Crows. It's just a really good investment card. I feel like I picked these up when they were relatively like really cheap, and then 3 Ulti Droll. So the next couple of pages you're gonna see are just like kind of like my staples. So I have Ash Blossom first ed, Secret first ed Imperms, Ultimate Rare Maxis. I actually have 6 more coming because I honestly think this card is coming back to 3. So I kind of want to like, I bought 6 more just like as an investment. I could be wrong, I could be right, who knows? But in this investment, even if I'm wrong, these cards hold Maxi holds really good value because it's played in like retro formats. So I'm not too worried about it. We have 5 ulti nibs. If you guys were live during my Twitch stream yesterday, we tried to open another ulti nib from a bunch of like OTS packs, but we weren't so lucky. We opened 2 ulti super polys in 25 packs, but you know, we weren't lucky enough to get the 6th ulti nib. So I put a DD Crow here in the meantime. Also first edition ulti DD Crow, and then 3 ulti first edition effect veiler. I actually prefer the ultimate rare effect veiler over the Starlights, and same thing over the Crows, but I ended up having more Crows Starlights than ultimate rares. But yeah, next we have, you know, on the left, kind of like staple back row removal cards like MST ultis French and English, and then we have 3 English ulti Cosmic Cyclones. You know, just really good staples. I like the MSTs because they're really nice for like retro formats. And then on the right side we have French ulti dualities, French ulti desires, and then German ulti avarice. These are all first edition if applicable. So pretty good. Like most of these cards, like I said, these are like retro formats, but then I also had these for when I first started playing the game. So there's that. Next, these are kind of like my retro format cards and cards that are like super nostalgic. I have the Thunder Kings for 2011 format, 2012 as well. Just like, you know, this card is just absolutely insane. Like we all know this card from retro format and how much of an impact it had on 2011 and 2014. The 3 Trigodias, of course, one of the OG hand traps, alongside Battle Fader, because Mystic Piper is one of my favorite decks from 2011. So I wanted to get Battle Faders and Ultimate Rare from first edition Absolute Power Force. Next we have Turbo Pack Chaos Orcs. We have 2 English and then 3 French Turbo Pack Chaos Sorcerers. These were basically for like the Mystic Piper decks, and then they also like were relevant in like 2010 as well, and then Go format. So I figured I wanted to get these. And then we have 2 BLS. One is going to be Collector Rare First Edition, and then we have a IOC First Edition. So this one is super mint. I honestly want to get this graded as well, but like I said, I'm not really a graded type of guy, but I honestly should get this graded as well. Super beautiful card from one of like, you know, the first 5 sets of Yu-Gi-Oh! And of course we have 2 ulti dads. Shout out to Gage for actually selling me one of them or trading me one of them. I actually have a 3rd dad coming in, so it's super poggers, hypers. So a 3rd dad is coming in soon. I'm waiting for that in the mail. And then of course the next page is kind of like GX ultis. So I have 3 first edition Ultimate Rare Alias. I really like this card because one of my favorite decks from 2011. I have multiple favorite decks, as you guys can see. I've never really stuck to one deck. I've always played multiples. But like one of my favorite decks when I started playing and learning about 2011 was the Hero Beat deck. So I really wanted to get like the Ultimate Rare Aliases. Also like in 2012 when people play like Bubble Beat, like this card was also important. And then we have, you know, bread and butter of the GX era, like CRV First Edition Ultimate Rare Cyber Dragons. I mean, this card was just a staple. Like you needed it in your side deck. Like really good against Karakuris, but there's also just a 2100 going second to like forcing out Thunder Kings in 2011. So I just wanted to have this. Also a light monster for Miracle Fusion if you played the Hero Beat deck, and of course also from Cybernetic Revolution, 3 Ultimate Rare Bubblemans, all first edition. This card is just absolutely like insane. Like I love Bubble Beat. Like that was one of my favorite decks from past formats in 2012. Especially after you got like Utopia Astro, like you got the Utopia Ray, you got like the Blade Armor Ninjas, if you guys remember that. That card was just super sick, so I had to get this in first edition as well. And then on the right side we have, you know, 3 Ultimate Rare First Edition Crusader of Endymion. This card was like really nice when paired up with like Alias because there's another Gemini monster for the Hero Beat Gemini deck. Of course, we also have first edition Miracle Fusion from Cybernetic Revolution as well. So a bunch of Cybernetic Revolution cards from the GX era. Yeah, so super pretty. This is my favorite looking copy of my Miracle Fusion. This one is like for some reason a little bit like, I don't know, it's like it has a little more embossment, or like it's glows a little bit better. Super nice. Let me try to put this back in. And then of course, I think for some reason I sold all my like Stratoses and I had to like start rebuying them, but I only have 2 Ultimate Rare Stratoses. And then the last card is this, which is one of the rarer cards to find. This is a no name, no imprint, also no like the bottom right, it doesn't have like that gold stamp, misprint. So it's a triple misprint kind of, and it's also Italian first edition. A bunch of like POTD cards came misprinted in Italian. So yeah, no I've Anubis basically, but yeah, I have this for my Infernoble deck. So yeah, the Aqua Neos is really insane. Then of course the next side we have a bunch of like CP cards, older cards. We have 3 CP Lone Fires, 6 CP Lone Fires, 3 in French, and then 3 in English. And then I have 2 CP Spirit Reapers and 1 IOC first edition DMOC. One of the decks that I also really want to build for past formats is it's gonna be Diamond Dude Turbo, and you'll see Diamond Dudes later. But I wanted to get this card from my Diamond Dude Turbo deck. You know, if you like go reasoning and hit DMOC, if you want to add like a Monster Reborn or something like along those lines, just like super crazy. So I'll hold this up to you guys so you guys can see it one more time. But super clean copy as well. And then of course on the right side we have more of like the what people call Monkey cards. CP all of them. We have full foil CP bottomless trap holes. Really iconic card in 2012 and 2011 era, and you know it's just a really strong card. It also was like heavily used in 2014 as well, so really wanted to get these. And then we have 3 CP Mind Crush because in 2011, but in Columbus, the YCS after Toronto, Mind Crush was used in a deck like what is it, I'm trying to remember what deck it's called, but it's like the one that draws you a bunch of cards, but I forgot. Anyways, you played Mind Crush in it. It was really good in it, just because you can look. You also get, back then pre-errata, you get to look, or pre-ruling change, whatever you want to call it, you get to look at your opponent's hand when you activate Mind Crush, which is insane. And then 3 Dust Shoot. Yeah, Dark Worlds. Yeah, it was Dark Worlds. Yeah, Mind Crush for Dark Worlds. Sorry. Yeah, it was 2011 Columbus where Dark Worlds was legal with the advent of like the structure deck, and like Mind Crush was an insane side deck card. You know, because the thing is, if your opponent add cards off Sangan, you get the free search, and like it was just like absolutely like wild looking at your opponent's hand and just ripping cards out of it. It's also because you played the card that looked at your opponent's hand, and then we both like discard a card, so Mind Crush was crazy. Of course, Dust Shoot. I mean, CP Dust Shoot is just an iconic card as well. Just absolutely crazy. I mean, look at back then the game was like a lot slower, so like Dust Shoot was like just very impactful, like understanding what cards are in your opponent's hand. Next, we have a bunch of like, you know, just iconic cards. CP Pyramid Turtles. I really like this card because the Pyramid Turtle is one of my favorite recruiters in the game, so I wanted to get this for my GOAT format deck. We have Ultimate Rare Wing Karibo from the GX era, from the Lost Millennium. I think that the first GX set to be released. The Wing Karibos are I have 2 TLM Wing Karibos first edition, and then the middle one is a dual terminal preview, which are really hard to find because they're like one of a kind. You have to like get these at like these dual terminal machines, but yeah, this is the DTP Wing Karibo as well. Super sick card. I just like love the way the DT shine is on like the Wing Karibo, and of course like the 2 ultimate rares. And then lastly, one of the decks that I also wanted to build was Harpy Channelers. If you guys remember back then, I think there was like, I watched this all on YouTube, so I don't know exactly what happened, but there was like beef between, I think, Kevin Silva and Jeff Jones. And I remember that I watched a feature match where Jeff Jones, I think, beat Kevin Silva when he was playing Dragon Rulers with Harpies. And then ever since I saw that match, I was like, I really want to build Harpies for 2013 and 2014. But I know like at the end of the day, I think the drama ended where like they money match each other and they went to charity, so that was a good thing. Next, we have like Ultimate Rare Caius's. I mean, this card is just super iconic. Honestly, one of my favorite looking cards from 2011. And I have this card in French, one of my favorite languages. It looks so pretty. We also have a Retro Pack Sangan. For plant format, I have Debris ulti, Dandy ulti, and then Gold Bulb ulti. You know, just all these cards were just very iconic in 2011. You know, when Billy won YCS Columbus and YCS Toronto back to back. You know, these were some like the ultis he was using. And then we have Rescue Rabbits first edition because I want to build Dino Rabbit for 2012. So I got these secret rare. I think I do want to get the collector rare eventually, but right now I have the secret ones in first edition. So I'm excited to buy the collector rares as well, but secret first edition Photon Shockwave is just like absolutely insane. Next we have on this left side, I'll start off with the right side. We have 2 French, 1 English ulti strikes. I couldn't find the 3rd French ulti strikes, but if you do, let me know. And then I have a playset of first edition Drev, Solemn Warnings, Ultimate Rare First Edition as well. These are all in French, and then 3 French Ultimate Rare Solemn Judgments. So this is basically like the no page. Of course, Solemn Judgment is like insane for trap decks in this format, modern day Yu-Gi-Oh, especially with Solemn Strikes. Solemn Warning was one of the most iconic Solemns back in the day, for, you know, like just absolutely insane in 2011 as well as 2014. And then, of course, on the other side, I got a bunch of more counter traps. I got Black Horn of Heaven. This was in here for 2014 format, which is another iconic format that I really, really enjoyed, 2014 Nationals. And Black Horn of Heaven was a common side deck card for a bunch of matchups where this card was absolutely a blowout. Then you have MRD First Edition Metal Raiders, one of the like the earlier sets of Yu-Gi-Oh! Solemn Judgments. You know, I just had to get this card in, you know, the OG rarity. So here it is, Solemn Judgment. And then, of course, we also have 2 more Solemn Warnings, Ultimate Rare First Edition, and then a French Ultimate Rare First Edition Metal Raiders Judgment. So not much to say here. And then next, so fun fact, I won a YCS with some of the cards on this page, actually. So we'll start off with 2 LOB Monster Reborns. One of them is actually cracked from a slab, just so I can put it in my Prank Kid deck that I ended up winning the YCS with. And this is the same card that I won with, which is the LOB First Edition Monster Reborn. Just a gorgeous, nostalgic card. Monster Reborn has always been like crazy. You know, even banned at some point. So, and of course, I have another one which is literally, I think, super gradable. Like, I think this one was a PSA 8, I believe, when I cracked it, and this one honestly should be like a PSA like literally 9 or 10 even. Like super clean. I like literally never touched this. So, and then of course, LOB First Edition Polys. I have 2 light plays and 3 near mint ones. These were also in my deck for the YCS that just occurred. You know, I just love the way this card looks. It's really cool to see that a card from LOB, one of the first sets of Yu-Gi-Oh, make an appearance in modern day meta decks. So, you know, such a super iconic card. Yeah, I just love this card and how it looks. And then we have Ultimate Rare Instant Fusion and then a TP8 Harpy Feather Duster. So as you guys know, Harpy Feather Duster came off the ban list, and you know, this is a very iconic copy. I just love how this card looks. So next on this page, we got like a bunch of like Ultimate Rare Quick Play spells. So like Ultimate Twin Twisters, Ultimate Forbidden Droplets, and Ultimate Super Polys. Just like, you know, like iconic good staple cards to have. And then next we like are ending up in the more hero page. We have DP Mallies. So like I said, I really wanted to build Teledad, as you saw with the ulti dads in the front, like Return Dad. And then I really want to build also like the Diamond Dude Turbo decks. But the Diamond Dude Turbo decks, Mallie was such an iconic card back in like 07, 08. So I really wanted to have these cards with D-Draws because of how iconic they were. But another deck that was also prevalent was Airblade Turbo, or eventually it became Diamond Dude Turbo because Stratos was limited to 1. But yeah, Diamond Dude was such an iconic card. Back then. Being able to like hit cards like Lightning Vortex and then Raigeki your opponent on the next turn. Like super crazy. Hitting cards like D-Draw and getting a free Pot of Greed was just so wild. Absolutely love Destiny Hero Diamond Dude. Honestly, I honestly think it was like basically the OG Sky Striker deck, DDT. So and next we have like some cool like E-Hero cards. I really wanted one of all of them. I think like the GX arc was one of my favorite parts of Yu-Gi-Oh from an anime perspective. I think the 5Ds had some of the coolest card I liked collecting, but the GX arc was like some of my favorite eras of like Yu-Gi-Oh. Like it was like honestly what, like when I think back to like my childhood, like GX was like probably my favorite. So I got the M2 Hero Collection 1 and 2 for Clayman and Sparkman, and then Avion and Persinatrix, and then I just got a bunch of like cards like First Edition Feather Thoughts from Elemental Energy, and then First Edition Enemy of Justice, Hero Flash, and then we have 2 CR Rotas as well. I'm waiting for the Lost Art Persinatrix to come out. I really wanted to get hers as well. But there's another reason, guys, why I got all of these cards. It's also because of the fact that if you guys, played back then, there's actually an Electrum OTK deck that allowed you to, you know, with chain, I think chain disappearance, or I forgot the exact trap card, but it was like chain fusion or something with like fusion gate that allowed you to basically loop Electrum multiple times and then basically OTK your opponent with like Gustav Max, which was absolutely insane. And like this, I wanted to get one of all of these as well in case I ever rebuild Electrum OTK. I think Robert Boyajian was the person who like topped a YCS with it back then. And next we just have like a bunch of like really iconic water cards. One of my favorite cards from this page is Atlantean Dragoons. I actually topped a PPG with the Mermail deck, and so I had to get this card in like higher rarity foil. One of them is actually a Euro English Ultimate Rare Dragoon, so you can tell that this is a little bit more unique than the average American Dragoon because of the stars. You see that the stars are a little bit more embossed, and like that the you know, the ulti is like super like it's like a lot deeper than normal. And for comparison's sake, I can show you guys the the NA one. I have 2 Euros and then 1 NA. You can see that the one on the right hand side is a little bit more embossed, and then the one on the left is not. But yeah, so I have 2 in EU English and then 1 in American English, which is the one in the middle. Of course, I have Bisteus and Abyss Lyn, some of my favorite monsters in the game. Like 2014 for me, Nationals is a really fun format, and one of my favorite decks from that format is Water Mermails. I just love the way this deck played. I thought it was like really cool. It can play any way, like fast, slow. It can play control. It can OTK with like you know, like using its resources. I just thought it was a really cool deck. And of course, we got like spellbook cards as well. We have this Blue Boy, and then we have, of course, Ultimate Rare Treeborn Frog. I also have another EU English first edition SOI, which is a really hard set from the GX era to really get, because, you know, SOI, one of the ultis that came up was like, you know, I'm trying to remember what it was called, but it was like the other Egyptian gods. It was like Raphael, Hammond, and Uriah, I believe. They came in this set, and you know, it's very hard, like it's very hard set to like find in general. So really happy I have this first edition Treeborn Frog, just because of Frognarchs. Thought it'd be a really cool card to really just have. Next on this page, just a bunch of like random like ultis, Starlights. I have a Starlight Midoriya that I pulled. I have 2 Enemy of Justice, like Herald. I have like a Aspis bird, and just a bunch of like Link Spiders, Ultimate Rare, like a CR Medionis, all Ultimate Rare Firewall. Opened a bunch of them and got a bunch of them tournaments. And then we have right here at the bottom 1 Starlight IP and then 2 Starlight Appaloozas, and then 1 Ulti Hulk in the middle. Just like staple cards. And then on the next page we have like 9 Starlight Lunar Eclipse. I thought this card was an investment for me. I thought this card might actually become a I thought this card will become maybe like meta in the future, so I invested and bought 9 of them. Definitely lost a little bit of money on this investment, but it's okay. I haven't really sold it yet, so haven't really recognized the loss from it. But you know, just a card that I thought might be really sick. And then we have 3 Ultimate Rare Scapegoats, and then of course one of the most, I think, unfair modern day Yu-Gi-Oh staple, which is Starlight Tactics. This card is just literally insane. I mean we've seen the impact of this card, and with Crossout coming out, it's gonna be absolutely crazy. And then of course, literally one of my favorite cards in the game, Book of Moon in Champion Pack. I know they released the Ultimate Rare version, but I think the CP version, the original Super Rare, like, it just looks so good. So I just love the way this card looks, and it's one of my favorite cards. Next we have Synchros, a bunch of Synchros that are iconic. We have 2 Ultibaxias first edition. We have a Power Tool first edition. Now we have Random Omega in here. We have DT Brio. We have a Starlight Trish. We have Joe Warrior Ultimate Rare. You know, 2 Ultimate Rare Catasters, Ultimate Rare Karakuris, Beret, and Burrito. And then we have X-Saber Gothams. We have a Wonder Magician. We have Ancient Fairy Dragon and Ultimate Rare as well. So these are just like cool Synchros that I've accumulated over time. One of the decks that I wanted to build for past formats also Karakuris. Really dope, like past format deck. I really like the way it played as well, so I wanted to get it. Next we have just a bunch of like XYZs that I thought were really iconic for me. Like Abyss Dweller was just like one of my favorite like XYZs, especially for like the Mermail deck. We want to detach Dragoon and get its effect. We have Castell, which like was a really neat card to be introduced to the game because it allowed you to out cards that normally couldn't be easily outed. Cowboy for Triff. We have Ulti Dings as well because I played Earth Machines, and so you can hard make this. And then, of course, we have Satellarknight cards. We have Trevere, we have Diamond, we have Deltaros, and we have like Pallades and Plutonomy. So these cards were played in modern day Yu-Gi-Oh! When Virtual World started incorporating like rank 6s like Plutonomy. So really, really nice. Then on the other page, we have some more XYZs. So we have 2 Logias, because Ulti first edition, because I wanted to play Diamond Rabbit, so I wanted to get the Logias. Diamond Direwolf, super iconic cards from Cosmo, Blazers, a really dope set which introduced Mermails. So I just love this card. And then we have playset of Ultimate Rare Abyss Gaios. Like I said, Mermails was one of my favorite decks of all time, so I wanted to just get like the playset of Abyss Gaios. And we have Bujin Ultimate Rares XYZs. This is also like another deck I wanted to build in 2014 Nationals format, which is the Bujin deck. I think Jeff Jones topped an ARG right after Nationals with the Bujins, and then there was like the whole meme where he like went Susanoo and attacked all of them with like Honest and somehow won a game that literally looked unwinnable. All right, guys, on the right-hand side, we have Artorias, and then we have 2 of them. Card from Cosmo Blazers, Ultimate Rare First Edition. Really like the Noble Knight archetype. It's actually a very solid deck back then as well. And then you have Ultimate Rare First Edition Leviathan Dragon, 1 in Ghost Rare and 1 in Ultimate Rare. So this card was like very iconic in, actually, I think in 2013, Water, because you can, detach marksmen and then get their effects. But it was also played in like 2011. As one of the first XYZs to be released from I think Generation Force. And then we have 2 Starlight Astral Utopias. Yeah, this card is super sick. I really like this card. This card was, like I said, one of the first XYZs to be released alongside Leviathan Dragons. And coming in Starlight was just really, really dope. I really wanted to have it. And then, of course, guys, one of the coolest cards from this page, which is the YCS Super Rare Prize card, Giant Hand. So this is what you get from, making top 3 of a YCS back then. And yeah, Giant Hand was one of them. And so in 2014, Giant Hand was actually a card that was being played, as well as 2015, as such a, one of those XYZs that, just like allowed it to negate monster effects on your opponent's side of the field. So really, really cool. And then you have Steel Swarm Roach, First Edition Generation Force as well. Also came in the same set as Leviathan Dragons, one of the original XYZs to be released. And then Ultimate Rare Rafflesia. And then, guys, the next page that we have is we have Boxias. So this is, when I first started playing the game, one of my favorite archetypes that I looked into was the Yang Zings. And I saw that I think one of the key cards of the archetype was banned. But I played Zephyr Pendulum, so, I had to get all these, like, really, really cool cards for the archetype. And obviously, these cards went up because of the release of Soul Swords. So it's actually really cool to see that, cards from Duelist Alliance making an impact back in today's metagame. But Boxing is definitely one of them. Not once per turn. Be able to reborn back cards from the graveyard. And, of course, Yazi, one of the most iconic XYZs. Really hard to out. I actually played this card back then with Destrudo in 2019 as well. And summoning Mare, making like basically a 1-card Borosaur. Super, super crazy. And so, yeah. Next, we have another hand trap binder, hand trap page. We have 3 no material. One of the hand traps that was good earlier. And then we have, 3 Ghost Bells, First Edition, 3 Secret Rare Meisters. Definitely want to get CR eventually, but this is like original First Edition Strike Blast. Which is very, very hard set to find as well. And then we have the 3 Secret Phantasmes, the 3 CR Gammas that I actually played at the YCS. This card literally won me so many games. And 3 Secret Lancias. Next, this page is just a bunch of like good trap cards that I, collected over the years. 5 Ultimate Rare Karma Cuts, all First Edition from also SOI, the same set as, Treeborn Frog, that I also have. So this card is like really, really dope. Just trying to move this back in. We have a CP Wing Blast. We have 2 Ultimate Rare Transmigration Prophecy, which is a really good card. It was a tech that I played back in Alter Guys. And we also have a Get Out that has a no-name misprint, which is pretty cool. We have Breakthrough Skills because it's a very dope card in 2014-2015 format. Being able to negate a card, and then after that, having multiple use back on the turn after. It's also a card you can mill off like Dante in 2015 with the advent of like Duelist Alliance and like, like Trap BA. It was just a very, very dope card. We have Return. We have a Ring of Destruction. And we have 3 first edition voice back, which is, might see some sort of like relevance again. We're pulling the rug, right? Because of like the new archetype that's getting released, I believe, called Flunders. Next, we have a bunch of like good cards. You have 2 ulti terraformings, 2 TP or TU turbo pack Foolish. We have an ulti scapegoat, and then we have an RP scapegoat, and then we have 3 ultimate rare tankies. So just good cards to have. On this side, we have a 6 ultimate rare first edition Alaris. 3 is Italian and 3 is English, and then we have 3 upstarts from like the Hoban era, Parvin New. So just a bunch of good draw cards. Next, we have like on the left, like basically like max ready floodgates. We have 3 rivalry of warlords. We have 3 vanity's emptiness from LC5D. We have 3 PCY anti-spell vagrants. On the right side, we have Phoenix Chain, a really good card in Dino Rabbit format. And then we have the Crush card, and then 3 3 turbo pack skill drains. Next, we have some XYZs that are just iconic as well. We have 3 Ghost Card Alley card, which was really, really dope in 2014. Being able to like make 2 level 3s into a card that pop back row, as well as set monsters. So you can pop like Yugioh armors. You have like some iconic rank 7s like the Draco Sack and the Big Eyes. On the right, we have an ultimate rare Dryden that I got from a subscriber. So huge shout out to him. And we have an ultimate rare Gaia Charger, and then a Gear X. Gaia Charger was essentially for Virtual World. Because back then, like this card allowed you to get an extra material so that Zeus is live. And then we have 2 ultimate Levier, a DT Lavolvo chain, as well as Secret Lavolvo chain. We have 2 DT Emerald, 2 ultimate rare Honor Arc, which is also really sick for 2014, and of course the OG Zeus, which is, or I guess technically, it's OG Zeus, but I guess you might consider Black Rose the OG Zeus technically. But yeah, Evil Swarm Nightmare was technically the first XYZ that had that sort of like Zeus-esque effect. But the next page we have is Ultimate First Edition Dasher for the new basically Fusion Destiny Phoenix Enforcer card that's coming out. We have a Starlight 20 scales for basically the PK Brave deck that's going to be coming out as well. We have 3 ultimate rare tour guides. Shout out to Farfa. I definitely want that giant card that Farfa has in the back. And then 3 Ghost Mourners hand traps. We have 5 Ultimate Levianeers. I gave 1 to a friend, so that's why I don't have 6 anymore. And then we have 3 ultimate rare Yamamotos, just because, like I said, this is one of the decks that I really wanted to build in 2014 as well. A lot of people call it like a monkey deck, and it probably was, but it seems like really fun. And of course, 1 Plague Spreader Ultimate Rare First Edition. Next, this page is kind of like a troll, but it's basically 3 red Sabersaurus and 3 Duelist purple Kabazuls. For Dino Rabbit, like I said, we have a Starlight Crow, a TP4 Morphing Jar, and a Terratop. We have the hands here, and then we have Ultimate Rare Power Giant. Really, really dope card. Next, we have basically a bunch of trains. We have the Gotham's E-Call because of X-Sabers. Really want to eventually build that as well. We got a bunch of like super rare like cards that were basically staples back then. Like Reckless Greed was really good in decks like Mermails. I think Hoban was the person who started playing Reckless Greed in Mermails, drawing to a bunch of combo cards and popping off. And then same with Regeki Break when Gun was at 3 with Regeki Break. It was just so oppressive with Wing Blasters as well. And of course, the 2 Turbo Pack Compulses on the top. Next, we have the 3 LOB First Edition Polys. These are in Spanish. And then 1 Misprint MST Ghost Rare, no name. And then 1 Quick Booster. Don't really know what to put on the rest of this page, so we'll keep going. And then one of my favorite cards in the game, Abyssphere. Like I said, I really enjoy Mermails, so I started collecting a bunch of Abysspheres over the years. And I really like how this card looks. I do have 3 more, but they're in my like Mermail deck for 2014, so I was too lazy to grab it out of my deck box and put 1 here as well. Next, we have some cool cards. We have Defusion, which was actually seeing play at some point in the 2020-2021 metagame, where there was a card called Predaplant Chimera Rafflesia, which if you sent off a punishment can search you Defusion, and Defusion was an out to cards like Winda, so something that was really cool. You have 2 Future Fusion for past formats. I really want to build like DV Heroes, as well as build like the Dragon deck, and Future Fusion pre-errata allowed you to send the materials, which is insane. You have 1 Ultimate Rare First Edition Monster Reincarnation because it allowed you to add back like JDs, or add back like really iconic cards back in the Teldad format, adding back dads as well. 3, Polymerization. This is from DT. And then you have like Ultimate Rare Dark Cities, first edition, alongside like Ultimate Rare Chalices, which are seeing a lot of room now. And then we have the Turbo Pack Rekindling for the Volavolls, and of course other fire decks eventually to be released. The next page we have like Misprint Blade Knights. They are super rares with prismatic name. We have an ultimate no name Zephyros, which is really cool as well. We have a ultimate rare Dark Armed Dragon, an ultimate rare Crusader, another Alias, and we have the 2 Gen X controller with the Sangan Turbo Pack. And then of course one of my favorite monsters, like I said, is water, or like some of my favorite archetypes is water. So 3 Diva from Turbo Pack, 3 Gen X Undyne DT, and then another 3 Gen X Undyne also DT Super. So yeah, guys, this is pretty much my binder. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below. If you can have any one card from my binder, which card would it be? I had a good time doing this and putting it together. I've never really like sorted my cards or anything like that, so it was like really nice to be able to just sort my cards and show you guys something cool. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one, guys. Peace.